Hey gang, Jesse here at EC Auto Repair. So, I know I've shot a few videos in the past over how to find a good shop, how to find a shop you can trust, but kind of want to go a little bit deeper into that. And like, not only are there shady car dealerships and untrustworthy car dealerships, like I said in a different video, the world is full of some really good people. Unfortunately, it's full of just a few bad people. Unfortunately, good people and bad people at times can look the same, right? So, how do you tell if a shop is a good shop? Well, here's some of the things that you should be aware of right out the gate. If they won't show you what's going on with the car, right? That would be a problem. Like we take huge pride in bringing our customers out in the shop, letting the technician visit with the customer. Not only visit with the customer, but show them, hey, this is the part that has failed on your car. Or, I need testing to figure out what's going on, and this is the reason I need the testing, right? Because as you can see by looking inside this car, even if I've got a simple coolant leak or something, yeah, this cover comes off pretty easily, but it might be a situation that I need to pressure up a component to figure out where it leaks at. Maybe I'll need a camera, maybe I'll need a mirror, maybe I'll need whatever, but I should be able to show you in person. And if you're not here, we have this amazing technology called cell phones with video texting, FaceTime. Our shop management system actually uses DVIs, which DVI stands for Digital Vehicle Inspection. So my technicians are able to upload pictures and videos onto the inspection. We're able to share that with you. You're able to click it on the link. You're able to see what we're seeing if you're not here, so that you can. And that's because we have nothing to hide. We have nothing to hide. If we tell you your car is broke, we're gonna be able to show you the part that's broke. We're gonna be able to show you the new part, right? Some people, some shady shops, another telltale sign is like it's gonna be about $800 for maybe to fix it, right? And they just give you a super vague quote. I'll be really honest. We will generally give quotes in ranges, like it could be $800 to $1,000 to fix it. Let me give you a reason why. See all this plastic underneath here? Plastic gets hot, plastic gets brittle, and sometimes it's impossible to take into account all the different things that could potentially go wrong. But I'd rather tell you to be prepared for $800 to $1,000, and then at checkout, give you this huge surprise and say, guess what, Mr. Customer, Mrs. Customer, it's only $779. I was actually able to save you a little bit of money. That's what we would rather do, right? But some of these shops will just give you a range, like, well, does that include labor? Oh, you know, so whenever we give a quote with parts, labor, the whole kit and caboodle, right? There's going to be shop fees, because there's a lot of different fees associated with running a shop. We got the subscriptions. We got subscriptions to all these different vehicle manufacturers. We got the air. We got all the different things that it takes to be able to provide the services, the lifts, the maintenance on the lifts, the staff to be able to handle all that. So there is some fees that are associated that aren't just one customer paying for, but it's divided out amongst every customer that comes in the shop. That's just a general practice more often than not. But we're going to give you a quote. We'll even give you a written quote and say, this is the parts we're quoting out. This is the labor we're quoting out. And the parts and the labor is going to be $800, right? Let's add 10% to that for a buffer. Let's say it's going to be $880. But that's very transparent. Mr. Customer, this is what's wrong. This is my detailed quote. I'm going to replace this, this, and this. And then if we get into it and something changes, now we can call you and say, this is what we found. Let us show it to you. and this is what the additional price is going to be, or this is why it's not going to cost as much, right? So those are just a few different things. The other thing is you can check out their Google reviews. Google reviews, I love them and hate them. You actually have to be a human to look at a Google review, and you can instantly tell if somebody that wrote the review was just having a bad day or if they legitimately had a bad experience. So if you see a shop and they got 3 to 10 one-star reviews, bang, 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 all on the same day, and they're like super vague reviews, like just a 1-star rating, or like, don't trust these people, they're total rip-offs, total jerks, and it's just such a vague comment, then just know that that's more than likely somebody that has never visited that shop. They're just a troller that's trying to give somebody a bad day and hurt a business, right? But if you read a 1-star review, then be objective about it. Like, did this customer really have a bad experience? Did the shop have a bad experience? And I will tell you this, I'm going to be super honest and transparent because we're shooting an honest and transparent video. If you go to EC Auto Repair and you read our 1-star reviews, there's some of them that are fake. There are some of them that are 1-star reviews, and we earned every bit of that 1-star review because either my staff, myself, whatever, we didn't show up, we didn't provide the service that the customer deserved that day, and maybe we did what we could, but the customer doesn't feel like we made it right. We will do everything in our power to make it right. You're gonna see though, by reading my reviews, that I've got a ton of 5-star reviews. I got a few 4 stars and a few 3 stars. People generally leave 5 stars or 1 stars. There's very few that's in between. I am the person that leaves a 1-star or a 5-star. And it has to be an absolutely horrific experience that I want no other human being going through at all before I will leave a 1-star review, right? I really, and I will communicate with the business and I will work with them to try to prevent that from happening. But it has to be something like really, really bad. The 5 stars, I want exceptional service. And if I go out to eat and my waiter, my waitress, my cook, whatever, I can tell that they gave me the extra 20%. They gave me the extra effort. I'm going to leave them a 5-star review. I'm going to give them a shout out. I'm going to give them a helping hand. That helps the business rank higher in the ratings because Google likes good people, right? They don't want to send you to a shady shop. So check out the reviews. How are they rated? If you go to a shop, whether it's my shop or the shop in the town that you live at, and you have a really great experience, most of us have CRM, customer retention platforms. We send out automated text to ensure that you are actually receiving the service that you paid for. But we'll send up a follow-up text like the next day or 2 days later after your visit. How did your visit go? And if we ask for a 5-star review, or we ask if you feel like you got a 5-star service, it really, really helps the shop for you to give a 5-star review. And if you didn't get a 5-star service, then let them know, hey, listen, I came there, this is what went wrong. Maybe we know about it, maybe we don't. More than likely, I don't know about it. Whenever I'm able to hear about it, or my manager's able to hear about it, then we're able to address it. I'll give you a for instance. A while back, we had a customer that came in, and we always vacuum out the floorboard when we do oil changes. Always. For whatever reason, they missed vacuuming out the floorboard on this customer that we've serviced for a very long time. That customer brought it to our attention. Hey, I came in, I did my oil change, the car didn't get vacuumed out. Mr. Customer, we're so sorry. We will take strides to make sure that never happens again. Give us some grace. And we did. We took major strides to try to ensure that that never happens again. Oil change stickers. So many times those have been overlooked. We have taken major strides to ensure that the oil change sticker gets put on the windshield. Some people don't want them on the windshield. We try to make that exception too. But we try to work, not just try, we work super hard to provide that 5-star, that above and beyond. We try to do the job that you pay us to do. That's what we really want to do. And we want you to feel like that we value you as a customer, because we do. Hope this helps. So tell me, have you ever been to a shady shop? Have you ever been ripped off? Have you ever had a bad experience at a mechanic? If so, what did you do about it? How did you handle it? Did they make it right? I'd like to know about it. Tell me in the comments. Maybe I'll shoot a video about it. See you in the next video.